Hey guys, welcome to Tech and Tudes, your personal digital platform enhancing education. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already and press the bell icon and never stop learning. Welcome back guys. In this tutorial I'll be telling you about the different kinds of loops that can be used, but particularly in this video I'll be telling you about the use of for loop, how you can use them in your programs. So before knowing what is a for loop, we must know what is a loop. So loop is nothing but where you repeatedly execute some process for a finite or infinite number of times, right? I mean, I want to do a task for a given in number of times repeatedly. So I will give you an example so the thing will be very clear. You must be lot of you must be knowing this, but still I will explain it for the one who doesn't. So this is print. You guys are awesome. Like, as I have to if you have watched my previous video, you must be knowing that this line is nothing but this will print. You guys are awesome, right? So what if I want to print this line like 5 times? Okay, so you can simply do this and run this, so that will print you guys are awesome 5 times. You can do it as many time you want, but the problem is this thing is not very efficient. Why should I write the same line a number of times? Can't I do this in one line of code or two line of code? What if I need to print this line or execute a particular function like n number of times and maybe 100 times? So it's not very feasible or not possible for a human being to do that. So for that, what we can use is a loop. So let us understand what is the syntax of for loop. The syntax is really easy. You need to write for, then you need to define a variable. In my case I will take it as I, which stands for index. You must be knowing it, many of you. For I, then I will use a command like in range. So for I in range, this in range is nothing but I will be telling that this I, whatever function will be written after this line over here, should execute for a particular number of time, right? So I should tell the range of it. So I can write 0 comma maybe 5. So what will happen over here is whatever I will write after this will be executed for 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2 3 and 4, like 5 times. From 0 to 5, the number becomes 6, right? But always remember, in case of for loop, the loop is executed for n minus 1 number of time. So it will be executed for I mean 0, it will be like 4. So 0 1 2 3 4. So that's nothing but 5 times. So let's try that out and let me do print. You guys are awesome. So what will it do is simply print this line 5 times the way it did before, but manually. So let me automate it by just simply using a loop like this. Simple, right? Let's run this. As you can see, it does the same thing. It prints you guys are awesome 5 times, right? I have started it from 0, so you might be thinking, okay, so I have given the limit as 5, so it's printing 5. No, the thing is like how much it counts. Like if I write it 1 to 5, so 1 to 5 becomes 4 times, right? So if I run it, it prints you guys are awesome 4 times. So you can manipulate the upper and lower limit as you want. That's not a problem. It's pretty simple, right? So let me do something more interesting. What if I want to find the sum of first 100 natural numbers? For that, the syntax is pretty easy. Before doing that, I'm trying to find the sum of it, right? So what I can do is simply write sum is equals to, I will take sum again, plus I. Okay, so let me explain it. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to add up every number between 1 to 100, right? So let me make the upper limit like 100, and so the value of I for the first time execution of this loop will be 1, actually 0. Okay, and then it will the second execution, for the second execution the value of I will be 1, and next it will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will keep on adding to this variable sum, right? So we need to declare something. We need to say sum is equal to 0 so that it does not take any garbage value. What is happening over here is simply, look, first of all the value of sum is 0, so 0 plus 0 is 0, so sum remains 0. Next time the value of I becomes 1, the value of sum is 0 from the previous execution, and the value of I is 1, so 0 plus 1 becomes 1. Interestingly, the value of sum now changes to 1. 0 plus 1 is equals to 1, right? So in next step the value of sum is 1 and the value of I increments to 2, right? It keeps on incrementing by 1, 0, 1, 2. So the next value becomes 3. Like this it will keep on executing until it's 100. That way I can find the sum of 0, 100. Let's try it. Let's print it first. But if I print it over inside the loop, so it will be printing sum every time, so I need to print it outside the loop, right? Is it clear? Just type print sum. If I try printing it over here, so it will be inside the loop, so every time sum will be calculated, it will print sum. But what we want is, I want the final summation of 0 to 100, right? The first 100 natural number. So I need to print out the value sum outside the loop. Simple, right? Let's try running it. See, it said 4950, but the sum of first 100 natural number is actually 5050. So the problem is, as I have told you, that in case of Python, when we write a for loop, so it is executed just 1 minus the upper limit. That means if it is 100, so it will be executed for 99 number of times, not 100. So I need to increment it by 1, so it will be executed for exactly 100 times, right? I hope it's clear. Let's run it. As you can see, it's 5050. So this should be remembered. I will repeat it once more. In case of Python, when you write a for loop, the upper limit, if you want to execute a loop which will be equal to the number that you have given to the, that you have given as the upper limit, it must be given as +1. Like in my case, I want to find the sum of first 100 natural numbers, so I have given the upper limit as 101, because it will execute one less than the upper limit. So one less than the upper limit is 100, so this loop will be exactly executed for 100 times. So it's pretty simple, right? So next thing that you can do is, okay, so I'll be showing you one more program so that the concept becomes totally clear. So in this program, I'll try to find out the total number of odd and even number in a specific limit. Let's take the limit as 10. So I will try to find a number of odd and even numbers in between 1 to 10. So for that, I obviously need a loop. So let's try this. For I, which is my index, in range, so I need to find the total number of odd and even in between 1 to 10. So it should start with 1 and it should end to 11, as I have told that the loop runs 1 less than the upper limit. So actually it will run from 1 to 10, right? So let's give a colon, and then I will simply use a condition. If you have followed my previous video, you must be knowing what is if and else condition. So if the number, which is I, is completely divisible by 2, then it is pretty simple. Just write count underscore even maybe, and then simply write count even again, and then plus 1, right? So what it will do is every time this loop is executed, it will increment this count variable by 1. Okay, so before that we need to initialize this count variable. For that we must initialize it to 0 so that it does not accept any garbage value. So first it will be like 0 plus 1 is equals to 1, then it will, the value of count even will become 1, and it in the next loop it will become 1 plus 1 2. So hence after the completion of this loop, it will count the total number of even numbers in that range. Else, if the number is not completely divisible by 2, and as you know that we need not to give any condition in else statement, so I will simply write something like count odd is equals to same process. This is how we can count anything. So this is count odd plus 1, same thing, right? So let me take another variable which is nothing but count odd and initialize it to 0. So this count will calculate the total number of even number, and this count will calculate the total number of odd number. So sorry let's print out the values. Simply write print maybe total number of even numbers between 1 to 10 is, then you can simply give slash t, which indicates a space, and then you can write count even, sorry, count even. Oh, okay. So in the next line, let me just copy and paste. Control C, Control V. What it can do is you can simply write odd. So what you can do is like over here just changes it to odd. So this does the same thing, but this time it prints the total number of odd, this variable, right? So let's try running it. Simple. Is there any kind of error? Nope. So let's run it. See, it says the total number of even number is 5 and the total number of odd number is 5. As you know, in between 1 to 10 there are like 5 odd numbers, which are 1 3 5 7 and 9, and there are total 5 even numbers, which are 2 4 6 8 and 10. Simple. So I hope the concepts are clear. If not, you can always drop down your queries in the comment box, or you can simply mail us. Thank you.
Hope that video helped you in developing your conception. Give it a like, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share. Thanks for watching.